Hey, everybody, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. I'm excited because it's Basketball Tuesday, people. And the Timberwolves, they're in the playoffs, not the play-in. That's the best part about this. We'll talk about that and much more. But I got a couple things I got to say to some people over at ESPN. Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith. I got to let these guys know because they think LeBron's the GOAT. I got a GOAT for you. We'll talk about that and much more coming up next on the Ron Johnson Show.
Locked On Sports Minnesota podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. Now the Ron Johnson Show. On the field, in the broadcast booth, Ron Johnson is Minnesota sports. He's played with them, hung out with them, and grown up with all the big names in Minnesota sports. They're hanging out with Ron Johnson. It's the Ron Johnson Show on the Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. And it starts now.
Hey, everybody, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. I want everybody to know this episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDON-NFL. That's Locked On, LOCKEDON NFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off on your first year. And what does that mean, people? Monarch Money, if you're looking, trying to figure out where your finances are, what are you spending on this? What are you spending on this weekly, monthly? This is a better way to keep track of your finances because tax time is today, people. It's a Tuesday tax day. And what better way to make sure all your finances are in line when you do your taxes next year? Check out Monarch Money. I know because I've been doing my taxes and I got receipts everywhere. So I'm definitely taking advantage of this 50% off of Monarch Money. Hopefully you do too. Well, today's show, we're going to talk this heavy basketball show today, people. NFL draft on the 24th. So it's not far away. What is that? 9 days for the NFL draft. So I bring my co-host into the show, Sam Ekstrom, Wolves and Lakers. And I want to pay off the tease because people are wondering, like, what in the world is this shirt he's wearing? For those that don't know, we are on YouTube. So if you're listening on your podcast device, Spotify, iHeartMedia app, Apple podcast, whatever you decide to use for podcasts, you might want to check out YouTube to see this cool sweatshirt my guy Spice Adams gave me. Cream Biggums is his alter ego that plays basketball. You guys have probably seen some Cream Biggums. You probably have seen videos of this guy, but you don't know it's Spice Adams shooting a ridiculous, stupid shot. Never makes it. He's terrible. He was terrible in high school. He's terrible now. But he sent me this sweatshirt. It's the Spice Adams Cream Biggums, the GOAT sweatshirt. And so Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp love to talk about the GOAT. Whether it's Michael Jordan or LeBron James. I think Stephen A. is on the Michael Jordan side. Shannon Sharp is more on the LeBron side because he always LeBron the GOAT. My GOAT is Cream Biggums. Cream Biggums is the only person that's had a quadruple double. Maybe if he could have 10 fouls, he would find a way to have 10 fouls. This is a 330-pound hooper that tackles and doesn't shoot well. But looking at the actual GOAT, we talk about LeBron James, talk about Michael Jordan. And Anthony Edwards is the next coming, supposed to be, GOAT, potential GOAT. And there was something I saw yesterday Stephen A. Smith said, Sam, and I don't know if people caught this, because things go viral and then they disappear, we forget. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith called out Anthony Edwards, looked him in the eye on I know you watch. You are a man, brother. You are the man, brother. You could be the face of the league. And Anthony Edwards said he doesn't want to be the face of the league. And I think Kevin Durant came to bat for him. Like, why? Look how y'all treat the face of the league. Look how y'all just nonstop go at him, nonstop challenge him, nonstop like in his personal business. Why would anybody want that? And if Anthony Edwards wants to take over as the face of the league, he can. But here's the thing I caught about the message that Stephen A. Smith tried to throw at him. Basically, you got to come through, man. 19, I forgot what his stat line was versus the Lakers this year, but it's like 19 points, whatever assists, whatever, blah, blah. He's like, you got to average 30 in this, you got to average 30 plus. You got to have a Michael Jordan type of series. Stephen A. Smith secretly is pulling for the Timberwolves. I just thought about that because think about this, Sam. I don't know if you remember this. Him and LBJ were not friends. Mm-hmm. They weren't friends this year. He went at him for talking about Bronny. Now, I will say, after getting checked, Stephen A. Smith has said nothing about Bronny scored 2 for 10 the other night, right, Sam? Is that what you told me? I was a stat line, 2 for 10?
2 for 10 when he started in the final game. Yep.
But what was the rest of the stats? Well, you gave me some good stats.
Yeah,
like,
2 for 10, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Did manage 6 assists and 4 steals, but they lost by 28. Let's be clear about that too.
And they lost by 28 because it didn't matter. That's why LeBron's son got to start. But Stephen A. Smith, I'm interested to see what pops up on the Twitter sphere, the X machine, the Instagram media giant that everybody loves to throw on Instagram, because I wonder if he's going to say something about Bronny's game because they lost by 28. This was Bronny's chance to lead. Bronny's chance to show the world I'm a star. I deserve to be here. No, he lost by 28. Now, did that mean that the coach, JJ Redick, wasn't really like coaching this game? Like, we don't want to. Let's just go out there and play. Let's go play basketball. But Stephen A. hasn't said much about anything since. He hasn't talked about LeBron in a bad way. He hasn't talked about his kid. He's been very respectful. So maybe sometimes people need to be chin checked. Need to be a little G check, as they call it. Little gangster check. Check them. Let them know what's going on. But Stephen A. might be pulling for the Timberwolves because of that. Because of what LeBron did to him. Because it's like a shark waiting for blood in the water. He's waiting for that armor to be pulled off by Anthony Edwards. He wants Anthony Edwards to do, and last year, who did they sweep? Was it the Suns, right? The Suns in 4 is what the Timberwolves did last year. Nobody expected him to do that to Kevin Durant.
Right.
He's a giant slayer. He's got Kevin Durant on his trophy case right now. I mean, I got mine behind me. I got the Big Ten, MVP. I got my dad's Super Bowl football from 78, 79. I got the Penn State football behind me. I got my first touchdown in the NFL. Anthony Edwards has got Kevin Durant on his. All he needs now is a little playoff Bronny, LeBron, James Sr. on his mantle. And this matchup, it intrigues me because when you look at the standings, Sam, and this is where I go with this. You look at the standings. In years past, 1 always beats 8, 2 always beats 7, 3 always beats 6. 4 and 5 is the one where you're like, it could be anybody's game. It's even at 4 and 5. Sam, it's even at 2 and 7.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's even at 2 and 7. 1 and 8 is the only one I feel like that's a guaranteed dub for the Thunder. The Thunder have set themselves 68 and 14. They were four wins away, Sam, from that elusive 72 wins. 4 wins. And I think the Warriors did 79 or 73, right? They have that record, 73 and 9.
They won up MJ
because then they lost that year to the Cavs. They're 73 and 9 season because everybody's like, oh, you win 73 and 9, but you couldn't beat LeBron. And so that's why they went out and got Kevin Durant. That was the infamous block on the backboard by LeBron James. Poster, the biggest moment in LeBron's career. Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, they get rings. But the Thunder is the only team to me I feel like has set themselves aside or atop the mountain in the West at 68-14. You got the Rockets, 30 losses. You got the Lakers, 32 losses. So there's only a 2-game difference in the Lakers and the Rockets. I mean, honestly, if the Lakers had won, so down the stretch, I know it was 5 games left. If the Lakers had won 3 of those, I guarantee Bronny doesn't start that last game. I feel like JJ Redick would have tried to go for that 2 seed to not have to play the Timberwolves. Because if I had to choose Warriors or Timberwolves, give me the Wolves. Or sorry, give me the Warriors. Because they are not the same team. They are taking L. Houston crushed the Warriors. And this is the thing about the media and the way this now I don't know if you see we talked about this. M.A. Udoka, him and Steph Curry got into it after a game. And Houston blew their doors off. I think Steph scored 3, Draymond scored 2. Houston blew the doors off them. But Steph and him got into it like at the half, I think, walking by each other. Steph made jokes about it. Oh, he canceled his reservation at my wife's restaurant. But he wants all the smoke. Like he wants all the smoke. He's gotten to it with LeBron before. We saw that when he was with the Celtics, him and LeBron got into it. He don't care. He's a former player that's willing to fight a player if he has to, I feel like. He is the one coach that I could see in a scrum, like actually going in and throwing some blows if a player tries, like especially Steph Curry. Like, Steph, you're not tough. You're not a tough guy. You got a goon in Draymond Green. You're not that guy. Just be the shooter that you are. You're Sidney Crosby for those hockey fans out there, Sam. You like that? I figured that reference out. He's the Sidney Crosby on the Warriors. Don't touch him. I got him. I'm the enforcer. Don't touch my Sidney Crosby. Don't touch my who's the guy for the Wild?
Kaprizov.
Like he don't touch Kaprizov. Don't touch Steph. Steph, you're not going out there bullying nobody. And so when you look at the West, Thunder, I give them the edge. I give the Rockets that edge over the Warriors right now. I don't think like the Kings and Mavs. Mavs, I don't think have a chance. I really don't. Maybe I'm underestimating Mavs. I just don't feel like the Mavs have a chance to get in this. I think this is just an arbitrary game that plays tonight just to get it out the way. But I don't think they have a chance. I do see Kings, Grizz, Warriors. I could see some movement there potentially. But I see the Rockets beating whoever, Grizzlies, Kings, Mavs, or Warriors. But then that Lakers Timberwolves, I think the Wolves have that edge. Like it's 32 losses by the Lakers, 32 losses by the Nuggets, 32 losses by the Clippers, and then 33 losses by the Timberwolves. One game could have put them in the 4, the 3, the 5, like one game. Because I don't know who they have the tiebreakers with up there. I'm guessing maybe the Nuggets. I'm guessing that they have got 32 losses.
The Wolves would have had a lot of those tiebreakers because they just combine your record against all the teams you're tied with, and the Wolves swept the Nuggets. The Wolves had a 4-0 record against Denver, so that put them atop of most of the tiebreakers. So the Wolves could have been 4, could have been 3, could have been up there with home court.
That's what I thought. I thought they could have. I knew they had the Nuggets because I saw the talk about the Nuggets, and the Nuggets wasn't just their coach. Interesting though, they're the 4th seed and they fired their coach. That's crazy to me. I've never seen that, but I do know he was hard on the players. I did hear rumors about that. He was hard on the players. He was trying to get, he was trying to be old school with that, and the player, he was kind of losing the locker room a little bit. So I think ownership was kind of like, all right, like this mentality. You got us a ring, thanks. You got some championship, but we got to move on. Like these guys aren't taken to this anymore. We got to find a different voice. Who, if they find it, who knows? But when you look at where the Nuggets are, the Clippers, I just feel like the Nuggets without a coach might be tough with a healthy Clippers. Are the Clippers going to go into this fully healthy? Because we know they got issues. But a healthy Clippers, I think they take the edge over the Nuggets, Timberwolves over the Lakers, and then you got Thunder Rockets. And so then if that happens, Timberwolves have to then go play the Thunder, right? Or no, or the Rockets.
They'd play the 2-7, so they would play the Rockets if they win. And those teams had a battle this year. We talked about this maybe last week. It was 2 wins, 2 losses. There was an overtime game. There was a last-second shot. There were technical fouls and punches, and like these teams kind of hated each other. It would be awesome. It would be a battle.
Because I feel like Lakers Rockets is not as like sexy as Timberwolves Rockets with all the drama, with all the stuff. The young blood on the court. You got DiVincenzo with his attitude. You got you got Jay McDaniels. You got Julius Randle. He's not young. I'm taking him out of that. You got Anthony Edwards, one of the young faces of the league. I just think, you got the Houston big. You got Sengun?
Sengun, they call him.
Sengun. And then you got Rudy Gobert. So you got that hatred there. Like I just feel like the Lakers are kind of like, I don't know if they have an identity anymore. Like it was LeBron and his cast of friends. Now with Luka, just feels like 2 guys out there coexisting. Like it doesn't feel like they have an identity. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, who do you think takes the final shot in these games? Because I think it was pretty clearly Luka. LeBron. You think it's Luka?
It's Luka.
See, you're probably not wrong about that.
I don't think LeBron
Luka
wants it at this age.
Yeah.
Like I think he wanted. So here's the thing. Without Luka, it was AR. Austin Reeves, for those who know, AR. And so you got Austin Reeves. I think he wanted him to take shots. He didn't do it. He had D'Lo to take some shots, but then that got toxic. He got rid of D'Lo. It's just like, who can I get? He wanted Kyrie. They weren't going to let that happen. I truly feel like a part of that trade originally, I think Kyrie was the original thought. Like, if we can trade, let's get Kyrie because he's towards the end. Mavs don't really know what they're going to do with him long term. That didn't work out because it was supposed to be LeBron, Kyrie, and AD. They wanted those 3 to stay, I think, in my opinion. I think the Luka thing became like more Dallas just not liking Luka anymore because all the videos that started to surface, of course, when things go bad, everybody finds it bad. But all the videos starting to surface of him like doing stuff and the ownership commenting on it, or the GM telling him to not do something, or them talking about him not working out or showing up out of shape for camp, whatever it is. Like, it's been nonstop negative in Dallas for a while. since he left. Since he's gone back and played there, blah, blah. I think everybody's kind of over it now. But originally, it was nothing but every week I felt like Rachel Nichols or somebody had a story about Luka and how the team wasn't happy with him and how his weight was a problem and how his work ethic was becoming a problem with the team. You can't mess with LeBron's work ethic. And maybe that is true. Maybe because people are saying, like, when you get around LeBron, you just work at Bron's pace. Like, Bron's up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. He's doing this. He's doing that. You know, he's lying by 12 p.m. You know, he always lies. He just went on Pat McAfee and lied. He talking about, everybody talk about all the foul shots I get. I've been bottom half of the league. Dude, you've been top 10 in free throw shooting the last 5 to 6 years. Stop the lies. Like, he just flat out lies as if, like, we don't all have Google. Like we have Google. Like, you just Google it and your name is in the top like 10 for free throw attempts, like in the last 5 to 6 years. Like, what are you talking about? You're in the bottom half. Like, stop it. Stop. He's like, and then my teammate said, when we played against you, man, we felt like you got all the calls. And now that we're your teammate, like, you don't get any of the calls. Shut up. Stop it. You're just lying. You're just lying to lie. I personally think, though, now, I think he does it on purpose. I think LeBron knows he's a smart guy. I think he knows he'll go more viral by lying than he will by telling the truth. Because when he lies, everybody checks it, and then they tweet the video, and then they call him out, and then he gets his viral moment. I think he knows what he's doing now. Like, he's 30, was he 39, 40 or something like that? Is he 40?
He is 40.
He's got multiple, 3 to 4 championships, been to 9 finals. Like, dude's a Hall of Famer. He's the leading scorer in the NBA history. Like, what else does he have to do? He just lies to lie now. Like, if this point is like, let me just have fun with people. I'm gonna just lie and see what they do. Also a funny video, Pat McAfee from 2019 said he was done with LeBron. I don't know if you saw that come out. He was like, on his show, he was like, I'm done with LeBron. He keeps asking for all these trades and how many more super teams can he make? And I'm just sick of it, because that was back when, like, the China stuff happened and people were like talking about taking a knee for China. Remember, they were like, oh, you guys aren't fighting back against China in the NBA and LeBron, they spoke up against injustice, but they didn't speak up against China. Pat McAfee was done with him. Fast forward, a lot of money. Hey, LeBron, come on my show. I love you. Yeah, you're my hero. Like, he changed his tune so fast. So it's just funny, like, how people take a stance until they realize, like, I'm not really mad. I don't really know why I was mad. I just did it for the clicks. Like, I did it for the brand. I wasn't really mad. Like, it was fun to do. Because, like me, I have no problem with LeBron. He lies, but I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron guy. Like, I'm a LeBron fan. But I'm not a LeBron fan for this one. Because, Sam, we got to talk about the matchups. Like, we've talked about where we think. We haven't even talked about the East. I mean, maybe later in the week we'll talk about the East a little bit, because you got the Cavs, you got the Celtics, you got the Knicks. Knicks, by the way, with Cat in the 3 seed over there, 51-31, which is, it's so ironic. So the Knicks get Cat. They lose 31 games. Timberwolves without Cat lose 33 games. I don't know if the needle moved for either team. I feel like
they both got worse.
Like, it's almost like, just stay where you are. Stay where you are, and you probably have a chance. That's one of those things that people always tell me about relationships, Sam. And you're younger than me, so I'll give you a little relationship advice, because I'll be 45. How old are you, Sam? How old are you turn? I always forget this.
33 years of age.
Yeah, you're young. So you got 12 years behind me, 13 years behind me. So, no, 12 years, yeah. So when you think about relationships in marriage, and I just saw this because somebody else just got divorced, and a celebrity, of course, but somebody else just got divorced and they're doing their alimony thing, and somebody made a comment. Oh, Jessica Alba. And they were talking about how she doesn't need the guy's money and blah, blah. People always think the situation they're in, there has to be something better else out there. And is it your situation is bad, or is it you are making it bad because of how you are portraying your situation? Like, are you the one that's sad when you could just be happy? Are you the one with an attitude when you could just be happy? Again, Kat did not want to leave. Not saying that. I'm saying ownership, GMs. They always feel like, if we had that guy, we probably would be better. Look what happened. They're not better. It took a while for the Timberwolves to get this thing figured out. Now, here's the problem. Rudy Gobert was the same thing. Didn't work right away. Start working. Julius Randle DiVincenzo didn't work right away. Started working. But it's going to take more time. By the time it really is like going to click, it's probably time for Julius Randle to go. So, you know what I mean? It's like, did you do it for the right reason and at the right timing. But we got another short, quick segment coming up. I got some words for old Shannon Sharp. I know LeBron's your GOAT. I got some words for you coming up in the next segment. Make sure you guys stick around for that. And we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Like Ron said, it's tax season. And that might spur some of you on to want to have a little more control, a little more oversight of your finances. You might be looking at your bank account and wondering, where's my money going? Why do I feel like that's a very low number in there? Maybe you're dining out too much Amazon shopping, too much entertainment. It's easy to lose track with all the credit cards, all the possible options. Well, Monarch Money can help with that. It's your personal CFO. Have full visibility and control over your finances. It's like a complete financial command center. It's so much more than a budgeting app. You link up all your accounts, all your credit cards, and you see how the money is getting spent. You can categorize it into different buckets, and you can not just manage your money, but start building wealth by knowing exactly how you are spending and then coming up with mechanisms to curb that spending if that's what your finances require. It's all in one convenience. It's easy collaboration. You can connect it with your partner. You can both have access to it. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year.
Well, Sam, we got to talk a little bit more about this Lakers. We got a little quick one before we got to Daily 3 coming up. But Lakers, Timberwolves, and so Sam, I'm happy. I was happy when I realized, okay, they're not going to be able to play, because I hate the play-in. The play-in gives too much angst. You put your heart in, because we remember that with the whole Pat Bev crying to the crowd, throwing the jersey in the crowd like they just won the Super Bowl, and it was just a play-in game. Charles Barkley had a field day with that. TNT had a field day with that. I'm also looking forward to that. Like, I love Shaq, Kenny, and Barkley. They don't really say a ton about basketball, to be honest. I don't know if anybody watches. It's just funny. Like, they are hilarious. And I know they're gonna make jokes about Minneapolis women, because that's what Barkley does. He's always like he's got his San Antonio women joke thing. The Minneapolis thing he always does, because he's always surprised. You know, he's always like, oh, I didn't know Minneapolis had this. You know, like, it's always the surprise thing with him. LA, you know what you're getting. A lot of well, I'm not gonna make jokes about that people, but you know, a lot of Hollywood, a lot of makeup, a lot of surgery. Minnesota down home, a good pasta stew, tater tot hot dish type of crowd, with a couple stars sprinkled in. Will J-Lo show up to support A-Rod? Who knows? We just don't know what's going to happen with this. Or will she just show up because it's in LA and she's on the Lakers side because she's mad at A-Rod with Ben Affleck? It's just so much can go on with this. I will say I am looking forward to the Lakers crowd, because playoff Laker basketball, Sam, and you remember this. I mean, well, I don't know if you remember. Well, you might, but the Kobe days, you probably remember those. But I remember the Magic Johnson day. Like, Jack, that's the thing about Jack Nicholson. I feel like he's been there since like, he is so old. Like, he's been on the front row since like the Magic days. Now you're gonna have him there with Anthony Edwards. That, like, he is a guy. Him, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, you're gonna have all kinds of what's the guy that did the movie with Anthony Edwards? Adam Sandler. You know, like, who knows who's gonna show up for these games, Sam? But here's where I go with this. When you think about the Lakers versus the Timberwolves, everybody is like the Lakers purple and gold. When I was growing up, it was scary, because you had the Lake Show, you had Showtime with Magic Johnson, then you had Kobe, the Black Mamba, you add LeBron, and like for a while you're like, oh my goodness, the Lakers just keep getting star after star after. Nah, that championship in the bubble, I'm not gonna hate on it, but can we count that? Like, are we really going to count the bubble? Like, we don't have the crowd. We don't have the travel. It's so much that was missing. And again, everybody had the same advantages. I get it. But I just don't know if that's like, we can call that a true championship based off the season, everything that happened, guys getting suspended, guys going to get chicken wings, allegedly breaking the bubble rules. I mean, there's all kinds of things that year. But when I think about the Lakers now, I don't feel like that same like purple and gold pride of like the Lake Show, Magic Johnson, you know, Klay Thompson's dad, you know, James Worthy, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom. Like, it just doesn't feel that. Like, you don't have that same star power where you just feel like they are going to blow the doors off if they get rolling. I just don't see it with this team. And so you look at Hashimura, you look at Austin Reeves, you look at LeBron, you look at Luka, you got Anthony Edwards, you got Naz Reid, you got Jay McDaniels, you got Rudy Gobert, you got DiVincenzo, you got Julius Randle, Mike Conley. The question is not who, because everybody keeps saying who's going to guard who. Who are the Lakers going to guard? Like, who's going to guard it? Like, Luka guarding Ant is a recipe for him being tired out of his mind. Ant can guard Luka. Now, because Luka doesn't move as fast. I feel like Ant, like, because we remember that Ant wanted to be the consummate two-way player because he went at who? Was it Kyrie he went at last year with Dallas?
Yeah, they made a lot of Edwards basically saying, yeah, I'm probably going to guard Kyrie a lot. And they made it out to be like, oh, Ant's challenging Kyrie. And
right.
I thought they overblew it. But yeah, I mean, Kyrie cooked in that series. Kyrie was really good. And the Wolves looked tired. They were worn out from that Denver series.
And the thing is, this is the first series. So the same way they came in with the Suns and just blew the doors off, this is what you're getting that Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, they get to rest because they're not in the play-in. The Timberwolves, they get to sit back and wait to play the Suns. They get to wait and play the Lakers. They get to rest up, ice up. They're in a hot tub, cold tub. Minnesota today is beautiful. Beautiful day in Minnesota to go outside and have a walk. I'm going to take a walk today. I'm walking a couple miles today, Sam. It's a nice day in Minnesota. You got to take advantage. It's a little chilly, a little windy, but it's nice. And so for Anthony Edwards, he can guard Luka because Luka is slow. Luka does not run around all day like Kyrie. Kyrie is a jitterbug. Kyrie is like Steph Curry. He just runs around and he dribbles. Luka's got two moves. He's got a crossover step back, and he's got the one-legged fadeaway. That's it. That's all he's giving. He's giving you the one-legged fadeaway. So he's dribble. He puts his back to you, spins, one-legged fadeaway, or he does the one-legged, then he steps through. So he's going to fake the fadeaway and then step through. So that's his third move. Sorry, let me give him three. He does the fadeaway, one-legged. He does the step through, which I think is a travel. But the NBA keeps changing the rules for these guys because he what did they say? He establishes pivot foot, and then it's the 1-2 after the pivot foot has been established. Like, when did that become a rule? That's a travel. After your pivot foot, you get one step. And then once your pivot foot comes up, it's got to stay up, and then you lay it up. Now they're saying your pivot foot can come up and come back down because that's the continuation of the move. Whatever. But it's a step through now. That's a rule. That's all he's got. And then he's got we saw him do it to Rudy Gobert. Come dance with me, Rudy. He dribble, crossover. He makes you think he's going to drive, and then he steps back. And so, and he has the fourth move. Let me not downplay Luka's bag. I forgot he has the floater. He does try to drive by you, and he does the one-hand floater as he drives by you. So that's his four moves. But in the concept of it, it's all in slow motion. Anthony Edwards is way better, way more in shape, way more athletic, way quicker than Luka. Luka is a beast. Luka is a scoring machine when he gets going, when he's hot. And I think that's what LeBron's been hoping for is like, when is Luka going to get going? Like, when is Luka going to black out? Because that's what they're waiting for, a Luka blackout game where he just does not miss. And he's speaking in a different language. And he's yelling at people in his own language and, getting texts because people are like, we know you're cursing now. But, like he told Rudy Gobert, you can't effing guard me. Like, that's the blackout Luka. But you can eliminate that with Jaden McDaniels, with Naz Reid. And say, okay, Anthony, you only got to guard him every once in a while, but we're going to put these guys on him. Do you put Anthony Edwards on Austin Reeves? Maybe, but Austin Reeves runs around a lot. Like, I feel like, and so you gave me some suggestions. Nah could come in and handle Austin Reeves. You also said, who's the kid off the bench you talked about?
Jalen Clark is going to be the X factor. I think he comes in, gives you like 5 to 8 hard minutes of defense, and you can he's a little small. Mm-hmm. He's a little small against Luka. He's a little small against LeBron, but you could put him on Reeves probably. You could put him on one of the top 3 with the Lakers for a few minutes. Just gives energy and gets around screens. I think that's definitely in the mix.
Because when you look at the Lakers team as a whole, and you look at who they have. So let me put my glasses on because I'm getting old. I can't see my screen anymore. I wish I could still see it, Sam. I'm getting old. But you look at Rui Hachimura. You look at what he gives you. He's giving you 13 points a game. He's giving you 1 rebound a game. 4 rebounds a game, 1 offensive rebound a game. Because the name of the game is offensive rebounds. Are you able to get those rebounds and get them back? Luka secretly, quietly gives you 8 rebounds. Like, he actually contributes in a way that nobody realizes. Here's the crazy thing, Sam. When they got rid of Anthony Davis, they got rid of their leading rebounder. Luka Doncic is the leading rebounder for the Lakers. I don't feel like that's a good thing. Like, your guard that's going to be up top for most of this series is your leading rebounder. And the reason why, so here's the reason why, people, for those that don't understand, I'm a basketball head. I love basketball. Even though I'm a football guy, I can talk basketball all day. I love to play it. I still play it. That's how I broke my hand. My cast came, or my cast, but my wrap came out. I take it off for the show, but yeah, I kind of broke my hand. I got like a ligament thing. I don't know what the heck I've been playing. That's why it's swollen, like compared to the two. You can see it. But Luka Doncic plays a lot of black backside defense. And so as JJ Redick loves to talk about, he loves to talk about the game, him and LeBron, with Steve Nash. He plays a lot of backside defense. He doesn't want to be the on-ball defender. Like, he doesn't. If he can get off the ball, he's doing it. Like, if you set a pick on him, he's like, thank you. Whew. Okay, I get to just stay with the guy who set the pick. Like, watch him this series. Whenever he's picked, he doesn't fight through the pick. Most people fight. Like, defenders, like Anthony Edwards, Jay McDaniel, they fight through the screen. They're like, no, I got him. Get off me. When Luka gets picked, he's like, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to just go fall back down with you while this guy works up top, and then we'll get the rebound. And that's why Luka gets those rebounds, because he's falling back and playing help side defense. And then the balls are just coming to him, and he's the free guy to get the rebound. He's not up top trying to stay up top. If you can get him having to guard Anthony Edwards where you get the switch off, so Anthony Edwards sets the pick, whoever's Luka's guarding, Anthony Edwards sets the ball screen. Luka's going to stay with him because he does not want to, unless the Lakers have talked about this, say, hey, if Anthony Edwards does this, you cannot stay with it. You got to rotate off. Now you kick the ball back to Anthony Edwards, who has Luka. Now it's showtime. Now it's dance time. He can't stay with Anthony Edwards. He doesn't want to stay with Anthony Edwards. So the Lakers and the media pundits, they keep talking about Lakers. Who's going to guard Anthony Edwards? Who? Because, we got to get to the Daily 3, but I got something for Shannon Sharpe. I got something for him. Because when I thought about this, Minnesota, what are we known for? General Mills, grain, boats, Prince. Got one for you, Shay. Roll the boat, Quaker Oats. Prince might hit a high note. Lakers can't handle number 5. We got Daily 3 coming up. We'll be back after a quick pause. Well, time for the Daily 3. That's 3 questions. It's been about 2 to 3 minutes today. We got time. Take it away, Sam.
Ron, the Vikings still don't have a backup quarterback, and the options are dwindling. Joe Flacco signs with Cleveland. Drew Lock signs with Seattle. We're down to Teddy Bridgewater, and I don't know if he's going to play football. He might coach again. Carson Wentz. Ryan Tannehill could come out of retirement or maybe not retirement, but off the street. He didn't play last year. Which direction are the Vikings going to go, Ron?
I'm still thinking Tannehill. I mean, I do like Wentz. Like, I like Wentz under the tutelage of Kevin O'Connell, but I just don't know how healthy Wentz is. I know he played, with the Rams? And so is he healthy enough? Is he good enough? Can he give you what JJ McCarthy gives you, or is Tannehill better? Now, my guess is of the quarterbacks of that group, they're going to have to bring them in for physical, for a workout, potentially the throw, maybe to see if they can still run. My guess is they're going to go with the most mobile of that group. It could be Wentz. I'm not downplaying an injury and coming back and being stronger. Who do I think under Kevin O'Connell, if JJ McCarthy is not that guy, or if his knee flares up again and swells, or if he gets hit in the middle of a game and has to come out, who can win it? I kind of feel like Tannehill. When you think about the old Titans, and this is the old Titans, A.J. Brown, but that offense, before Arthur Smith left and went to the Falcons, they led the league in pre-snap shifts and motions. They led the league in down the field quick game. Why? Because the shifts and motions they were using just to give Tannehill an eye. I feel like Kevin O'Connell has mentioned that a bunch because he comes from the Rams. He's wanted to do that. I feel like he finally has the group to do it. JJ McCarthy might be the quarterback to do it, but I feel like if you have to get a guy, you get Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, too, mainly maybe just as a leader to like help and teach. Again, he was with a really smart offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. He could actually help Josh McCown and Kevin O'Connell with like, hey, this is what we did with Arthur Smith. This is what we did to get Derrick Henry the ball. This is how we ran these plays. Because again, you have Aaron Jones. You do want to run the ball. You did bring in the kid from the 49ers. Like that's where I'm looking at. I feel like Tannehill is a guy that understands movement, motion, choice offense. They ran that choice offense with their tight ends and their slot receivers. And they looked at getting down the field with AJ Brown. I feel like Tannehill will be. That's just me though. Maybe I've put too much on Tannehill, but I don't know. Who were you thinking? Because there's someone else. I just don't feel like there's anyone else. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater. I just don't know if he is it. I think he's a great story, even if he's QB3. But I know he kind of wants to coach high school football. Like, so is he really willing to come in and just say, I'm not coaching high school football this year? And after, I think he won a state championship, you know, like, and you're going to leave your team just to be a third quarterback. I just don't know if he does it. But I mean, honestly, like, who wouldn't though? I mean, you're going to make a lot of money. You make $1 million to be a third quarterback. So why not? But yeah, I don't know. Who do you have a quarterback on your list that you're thinking?
Not really. Tannehill feels like the clear number one option unless Kwesi has a trade that he's cooking up behind the scenes. I don't really want Wentz. I don't think Bridgewater is going to I don't get the feeling like you that he is going to be on a roster to start the year unless the Saints want him to come in and start. Like if Derek Carr is hurt, bring back Teddy Bridgewater to go to New Orleans. I don't think he's going to start, so I don't think he's going to play. So I'm leaning Tannehill, and they better hurry. Like they better figure this out because the options are dwindling. I know they want to wait till after the draft and save their comp picks, but yeah, this is a very interesting move that you don't see very often, a team ignoring its backup quarterback this late in the game. Right. Let me take it this way, Ron. Patrick Peterson announced his retirement from the NFL, played 2 years for the Vikings toward the end. Do you think he is a surefire Hall of Famer?
So here's the thing about Hall of Famers. Like it's especially on defense. Defensive Hall of Famers, it comes down to like, what did they do for the game? Like, did they change the game? Did they put up enough stats to like really make you be like, whoa? And so you think about Hall of Fame stats. I'm gonna give you Charles Woodson. I should have just gave you the stats and see if you can guess who this is. But Charles Woodson, right? 65 interceptions. That's a big number. You know, 11 TDs defensively. Fumbles, forced fumbles, 18. Like he also tackles wise, 1,220 tackles. Now that was 18 years though. So 18 years for Charles Woodson, 11 with the Raiders, 7 with the Packers. When you go to Patrick Peterson's stats, so 65, only 36 interceptions in 13 years. You got 2 forced fumbles. I mean, that's a huge difference, you know, like 12 fumble recoveries. Oh, sorry, Charles Woodson was 18 fumble recoveries. Patrick Peterson is 12. But tackles, half, 652. So that's, and again, you're talking about 18 years, so 5 more years, but 5 more years, he doubled. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was half the, you know, he had half the career. He had 13 years to Charles Woodson's 8, and he has half the tackles. So it's going to come down to like media write-ins, people really, you know, putting his name in there. I just don't know. I don't know because the rules now for the Hall of Fame have become very jaded with fame, I guess you want to call it, or celebrity. Like what is their celebrity? Because a lot of guys are upset, like Ashanti Samuel. You know, he's talking about how come he's not in the Hall of Fame, and you look at his stats versus Deion. He's putting up Deion Sanders, Darrelle Revis type stuff, saying like, how come I'm not in? And then when you look at his stats, you're kind of like, kind of got a point, you know. But Ashanti Samuels wasn't like a celebrity. Has Patrick Peterson done enough? Now he does have his own podcast, so has that kept him in the great eye of the media that gets a vote? You know, he did go to LSU. Does that help? I just don't know. I really don't know. Like the stats alone right now, I'm looking at them like probably not. Like probably not. Like I don't know if he did enough, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think that cornerback's a unique position in that the better you are, the less involved you are in the game because you are preventing balls from coming your way. So
Sure.
that would reduce interception count, that would reduce tackle count. Whereas if you're a good receiver, you're involved. If you're a good pass rusher, you're involved. If you're a good cornerback, you might be getting ignored. because your reputation is so good. No one's throwing your way. So I think his reputation for those first half dozen years in the league, 8 straight Pro Bowls, 3 first-team Associated Press. I think the longevity at that position, 13 years, isn't bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's first ballot, but I think he gets there. I think he will get the Hall of Fame nod because not a lot of quarterbacks play that long anymore. If you get to 30 and you're having success, you're doing a good job. So I'm going to say yes to Patrick Peterson.
Okay. What's the last one?
All right, Ron, the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're a huge golf guy, but this was a big sports story. Rory McIlroy got the monkey off his back in a dramatic, maybe the most dramatic Masters we've ever seen. Wins the career Grand Slam, all 4 majors, his first major in 11 years. It went to a playoff, so an extra hole to decide it. He collapsed and cried on the ground. Did you see the highlights or watch it live? Did you watch any of the Masters coverage, and did you have any reaction to it?
I watched bits and pieces. No, so I do like golf. I can't stare at it like that. Like I'm just not that guy. Like even if I went to a Masters party, I've seen people have those. I'm not watching it nonstop. My daughter had volleyball. She had a volleyball tournament, 2-day tournament this weekend. So we were in the volleyball in the gym all weekend. So I would check it out every once in a while. The dads I saw, it was on the TV. So dads were all kind of standing around watching it. But towards the end, when I saw he had a 5-stroke lead, and then it evaporated, and they were tied. I know that was heartbreaking because again, I do know the story when he hit it into the house, like over by the house on like 10, I think, and had the meltdown. And I heard the jokes of like people to go there now, and like if you shank a ball, they're like, man, you can't shake it worse than Rory did. Like he's become like a verb of shank, like it's the Rory. And to get that monkey off of his back, to get through those holes, amen. That's the one, amen corner, right? With the tough 3 holes. Yeah. So to get through all that's huge. Because I remember the Bubba Watson, being in the junk, and then he hits a stinger that bends around the trees and gets to the green, or to the front of the green. Tiger, I think Tiger did it there using his club backwards, or Phil Mickelson maybe did it using the club backwards to get out of trouble. Like it's some storied history there. So to do it, and to get that, like I saw the tears, which I didn't realize how old he's starting to look now. He's got the gray hair on the side, like the dude from Fantastic Four, Mr. Stretchy guy. But yeah, it's tough. And then a playoff hole at that, like, so to have a 5-hole lead, it was 5 whatever stroke lead, assuming it's done. And then all of a sudden you're like, don't, because that's what people say, don't take your shoes off, don't get comfortable, don't, like, you got to go over there, warm up maybe, because you might end up in a playoff, like. And it happened. A lot of times people do it. You just do it as a courtesy to be like, all right, I'm not going to just put my shoes away, put my bag away, like, because that's rude. That it actually happened. Like, could you imagine if he'd done that, Sam? Like if he had a 5-stroke lead, just like, oh, it's over, I'm good. And then just kind of air melted in. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, no, it's not done yet, buddy. You got to play. You got to play. Go get your stuff. So no, that I think it was a huge moment, and to do it that way though, that's one thing that's gonna go down. Like there could be no better way to get a monkey off your back with a story like that, because he'll be able to tell that story when he's 60 and 70 at a golf course. I remember at the Masters, when I got my green jacket, having a 5-stroke lead. It's gonna be a storied. Think about the Tiger Woods story, the Jack Nicklaus stories, all the stuff we've heard, the Michael Jordan stories. Rory now has a story. Now he can go out. Rory has a story. There you go. That's the tour. Rory has a story. But he can tell that story. He can tell the story of the defeat, the show the video of the shank into the house. And then you show him walking by that spot, all that stuff. Like he has a story now. And that's what athletics is about. That's why I love those moments. That's why even with my daughter now at the age of 14, now she just had her birthday yesterday, or Sunday, but like seeing her sports stories, overcoming. Like that's what sports is about, overcoming the stuff. That's JJ McCarthy. Like, hopefully he has a story this year. He overcomes the knee. He comes back out there, wins 14 games again for Kevin O'Connell. So it's not Sam Darnold, it's KOC. KOC wins Coach of the Year again. JJ McCarthy takes him to the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to tell the ending. That hopefully that's the story. But yeah, Rory McIlroy, I think that was huge for him. Got the Grand Slam now because he won a Masters. But I don't know. What were your thoughts on it before we get out of here?
Yeah, I thought it was, ask me in 5 years how I feel, see if it stands the test of time, but I thought it was my favorite Masters yet. I think it beat, for me, Tiger in 19, which I never thought was possible, but okay. I thought that the scene afterward was was even a little more raw and authentic. And, you know, Tiger's comeback was more physical in nature. Like his body was broken and he kind of clawed his way back. And Rory's was a lot more mental. Like he was just unable to slay some of those dragons in the big tournaments. And I saw like it took Tiger like 3,945 days between major wins. And I think Rory was within 50 of that number. It was almost the exact same number of days between his major wins. So good for him. I loved it. I thought it was emotional, and I'm a big golf guy, and it was a great payoff. It was an awesome weekend.
Yeah, it looked like it. I saw all the highlights, I saw all the clips, but I was watching the scoreboard, and I saw the 5-stroke lead, and then I started getting alerts saying, 4, 3. I was like, whoa, like what the heck is going on? And so, yeah, I probably will go back and watch some of it because I know the highlights are all on YouTube now and all over the internet. So I'll go back and watch some of the shots. But yeah, I am a golf guy. I like to golf. I do like to golf. But just watching it nonstop, like I honestly, I like the like Charles Barkley stuff better. Like I like watching when those guys play with Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. They're mic'd up and they're telling the truth about each other. And, you're seeing human golfers make mistakes because then I'm like, oh, okay. It's okay to hit the ball 100 yards in front of you on a 400-yard shot because you just screwed it up. So, but yeah, I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Extra. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Looking forward to these playoffs, people. We're gonna try to get Parker Fox on. Parker Fox, former golfer. We're gonna try to get him, talk to him a little basketball next week, and then after that, we got the draft. So we got to get back to our football guys. But we'll spend another week on some basketball. Get some basketball guys in. Talk a little. Timberwolves. Hopefully we'll have a Timberwolves game before our next show so we can talk about that. But I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Ekstrom. Thank you guys and have a great week.